Time to go live. Hi, everybody. It's Monday night, and here we are. Um, I'm going to give everybody a few minutes here hopping on because I do want to make sure that the sound is good this evening. Hey, Linda. Hi, Diana. Oh, Bermuda. I wish we were there with you. We are going to get 8 inches, 8 to 12 inches of snow, we heard. They keep changing it. And every time they change it, they say we're going to get more. Although tonight we're having an ice storm, so I would imagine we'll all be staying home. Debbie, how good to see you. I have been so worried about you. I knew you were going to be gone, but I didn't know this long. So, okay, I feel so much better. I'm glad you're there and I'm glad you're back from cruising the high seas. Kelly, hi from Arizona. You guys, I but I start talking before the connection comes on. Ugh, this is supposed to be the newest and the best, and I just picked it up. So, I don't know what else I can do other than go back to the old set. Let me go ahead and go back to the old set. Hi, Mimi. How is things in Texas? Hi, Vonnie. Good to see you. One of these days, I'm going to get down there and see you in person. Hi. Okay. Hopefully, I'm back. All the sound is good. Everything is. Thank you, Jan, Aslin, and Goslin. Yes, I look forward to seeing you too, Vonnie. It's been a doggone long winter up here. And I'm back. All right, Linda, thank you so much. You know, you spend all this money on this equipment, and it's supposed to be the state of the art. And they told me to try this one. This one will be good. And I went, yeah, but it's so expensive. Oh, you'll never need another one. Yeah, okay. Oh, hi, Evelyn. And Charlene's here from Colorado. Oh, goodness. Donna, yeah, I'm back. I hope everybody can hear me. And Monica's here from Illinois. Um, no sound for Charlene. Can you refresh your screen? Refresh your screen, Charlene. I'm a poet. Okay. Now Jan has no sound. Now there is sound. Okay. Refresh. What's your screen? Hey Jan, how you doing? I got a full bobbin. Hi Judith. And Linda went out and came back in. Okay, good. We should have it now. It should be good. So let's talk about what we're going to talk about tonight, okay? Mary Lou, hi. She's here from Florida, where it's nice and warm. And Lisa's here from Sugarland. I just saw a show today on Sugarland, Lisa, so I know what your water tower looks like. I'm sorry, that was funny. Weather is interrupting things. Debbie said, I don't think it's your equipment. She thinks it's the weather interrupting things. Jano's back. Okay, good. All righty. Well, let's go ahead and get started tonight. And this is going to be starter sampler number 9. And it's all the same design, but it's in different sizes. Now, what I've been doing consistently is working with a 6 by 10-inch size. And that's nice. I mean, it gives you the idea of what the 6 by 10 is going to look like. But what I decided I wanted to do tonight was what I went bigger. Okay. I have a block here that I'm using, and I have got it at 12 inches by 8 inches. So, what did I have to do to make this design fit into this size? Well, I really didn't have to do that much. But what I did do is I made my flowers all bigger. And I make them bigger on paper before I make them bigger on the fabric. That is just so important. It really is. This is actually a very easy motif to do, because what's going to happen is you're going to find that as you go along making this, there's this little flat spot right here. I want to make sure you can see that. Good. Okay. This little flat spot here. And then from about here on each side, let's see if I can draw that in, between here and here, we want a curve. And then so that this part right here doesn't make a sharp corner, we're going to use our 12-inch arc, even though this really does appear as a straight line. It's not, and it doesn't need to be. So we're going to do this on every one that we do. We're going to have the same breakdown. We're going to have this little flat spot here on the bottom, and we're going to have the curve coming in here. And remember, I do that with the small clamshell, and then come up and back down with the arc. I'm going to show you how I'm going to stitch those in. So in order to make sure that I get things the way I want them to be, I played with it on a piece of paper, and this particular one, and if you want to write down these measurements, now's a good time to go ahead and grab a pencil and some paper while I say hi to Lee from Indiana, and Jean is here from Mount Vernon, Washington. Kay, hi Kay, she's here from Florida. So if everybody has a piece of paper and pencil, let's write down some measurements, okay? I take my handy dandy little ruler out. Oh, Joyce is here from Mesa. Okay, Lee Stitch from Sew Study to 906 Quilting. Oh, this is something else I've got to talk to you guys about. I have to let you know is happening. We got word that Facebook is going to delete videos after 30 days so that we won't have them available on Facebook from the sounds of it. Stacy said something about downloading them. I don't know for sure what that means because I'm not real good with that platform. But what you will know, we will still have them on the YouTube channels, the Sew Study YouTube and the 906 Quilting YouTube channels. We're going to try our best to keep these things going for you guys, okay? So you can come back to them and refresh your memory if you need to. So, what I did on this particular first, um, I did an 8. I used my mini crosshair ruler. I put in 8 crosshairs. Then what I did was I figured how big did I want this? I just kind of looked at it and went, okay, I want it to take up this much space because in the design right here, it takes up an awful lot of space. So that's what I'm going for here. I want a lot of space. So I made this whole this whole motif to be 4.5 inches. So my center point, of course, is 2.25 inches. So I made my center point here, and then I came out on each of the 8 reference lines 2.25 inches, and I put a line there. And the line is going to be 1/2 inch. Okay. Not sure how well you can see that because my dark pen was giving out on me. Actually, let's do it this way. It is so important that you guys see this, okay? Linda, take it easy. I'm taking out my Sharpie, okay? Don't get worried. I did this once and Linda just she couldn't believe that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to come out from my center. Oh, that's the wrong Sharpie. I wanted the skinny one. There we go. 2.25 inches. And then I threw in here 1/2 inch. Now, why did I draw 1/2 inch? Because when I was playing on the paper, the 1/2 inch gave the curve just enough space to come in and meet this straight line here nicely. So I put the 1/2 inch. And then I decided how far up I had to go to place my curve. And that also is 1/2 inch. So it's kind of, when I was doing different sizes, it kind of worked out about the same because I made this 1/2 inch. What I did was I came up 1/2 inch. So here's my line. I've come up 1/2 inch and I have put 2 dots, one here and one here. And those are 5/8 of an inch from the center. Okay. It looks like a little smiley guy, right? They're about 5/8 into the center. And what the reason I put them in that area, and these numbers are fluid, they can change with every different size you make. And they don't all have to be the same. And it's okay. It really is. But what I'm looking for as I'm doing these is I want this part of this flower right here to either just kiss each other or ever so slightly you'll lap over each other. Either way, it works just fine. So, how do I stitch that now? I'm going to get this out of the way. Donna said, no Sharpies. Donna, what's going to happen with this quilt? Okay, I'm going to tell you. This is a quilt that I cut up. It was a Quiltworks Blue Lagoon. And yeah, it was a beautiful quilt. And it was all Southwest colors. And my husband was so happy and all this stuff. Unfortunately, it's not going to ever get quilted. Okay. So I cut it up because I had a request to show stitching on a real quilt instead of just blank quilt squares. And I thought that was a fair request to make. I really did. So I cut this quilt up and I'm stitching in all these designs and this practice stuff. And then I'm going to put it back together and give it to my dog. So the Sharpie is okay. It's not going to ruin, and you know what? My dog's not going to know the difference. Judy is here from Greenleaf. Hi, Judy. Good to see you. Okay, so now to stitch this, I'm going to start at my center. I'm going to pull my bobbin thread up. You guys can see this. I'm going to move you over just a hair. And we're going to do just like that. And down just a bit. There we go. Okay. I think we got everybody tightened up and ready to go here. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my bobbin thread up. Get my needle back in. Remember, even though this appears straight, this is not straight. We're using our 12-inch arc. And there it is. I took my spacing gauge out so I wouldn't forget it. Here's that dot I made. There is the spacing gauge. Going to get us right to that dot. I'm probably going to go over this previous rotation. I don't care. That's okay. It's fine. And I'm going to stop at the dot. Okay. Now we're going to get rid of that and get rid of this thread back here. Now I'm going to take my clamshell. I'm going to put my foot right into the clamshell on the 1.5-inch side, the small one. And what I'm going to do is this line will likely come somewhere, not exact, but somewhere close to where I drew this 1/2 inch line for the bottom. Okay, so here we go. And there we are. We're close to that 1/2 inch line. We're not exactly on it. That's okay. If it wasn't in Sharpie, it would come out. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to stitch to the end of that line that I put in there and switch back. Now what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be coming up and stitching to the dot, okay? So I'm lining up my dot so that my center is right in line with the dot. You can't put the whole foot up there like we did on the other side, but that's okay. There we go. I'm on that dot now. And we're going to come back, use my spacing gauge, and we're back, coming back to center now. Doesn't matter where you put your 12-inch arc. The arc's going to be the same at any point on the template. So there we've got it. And that looks pretty good. I like that. So let me go ahead. I'm going to reinforce the drawing out of it. Now, I have tried a couple of times to do it without measuring. And after you've done a few, when you have measured, doing some without the measurements isn't really impossible. Okay? It can be done. So here we go. We're going to come out 2¼ inches. 2¼ inches. There we go. Oh, no, that was too light. There we go. And then I'm going to do this all the way around. Okay, that's like the third thing I dropped already tonight, guys. I've been doing so good. Tonight's going to be a dropsy night. I'm going to make up for all the nights I didn't drop something. Okay. And Ken is not here this evening. He's doing his civic duty. Those poor guys. I do feel for them. Trying to please everybody is not possible. And I'm going to put my 1/2 inch line here and a 1/2 inch line here. 2 more to do. 1/2 inch here. 1/2 inch here. Now, I have those dots already put in there, so I'm just going to go over them. But if you want to write down the dimensions or the numbers, we are going 1/2 inch up and 3/4 of an inch away. Now, this one isn't a full 3/4, and the reason it's not is because these two are a little closer. Okay, guys, I am making up for not dropping things. There we go with the ruler again. So that one is going to be just a little smaller. And you know what? It's okay. The big thing is to make sure you come up that 1/2 inch. And if they get close enough is good enough. You know what I'm saying? What I mean by that is as long as these 2 points here don't cross over, you're fine. I could put these points out even a little further both way and have them almost meet right there. And it's still going to be fine. So let's go ahead and stitch some of that out. Judy knows Vonnie. Hi, Sue. Oh, no, cyclone, huh? And it's not my husband. Okay. All righty. So here we go. I'm going to do that. Trying to keep my voice working tonight. Pull that thread up. As soon as I get this done, we're going to talk about how we're going to join these. Because that's really the fun part of this project. Okay. Also remember, when you're doing this edge to edge, if one section looks a little different than another section, that's okay. That is not the end of the world. If we wanted that type of precision and perfection, we would embroider it. But this is teaching us how to go along and use these tools that we have to mimic the embroidery. They're not going to be an exact duplicate copy of the embroidery. Now, we do have the lookbooks, which are great for getting designs. And we do have them for $5 for the printed version or free for the downloads. So please get those and use them for ideas. There are so many wonderful ideas. Okay, I have hit a high point here, and my foot's not going to go over this. So what I need to do, because I have an old machine, a vintage machine, a lot of the new ones will. They will just automatically go over that little increase there. Oh, I got to come up a little more. Mine will not. So I'm going to do two things. I've loosened my foot up. I'm not going to leave it unsettled loose, though. You know what I mean by that is I'm not going to leave it so it just goes any which way it wants. I've just set it so it's a little higher, and then I don't ratchet down the screw. The next thing I'm going to do is take my stiletto and push down on that seam. And it still has to go a little higher, guys. Okay, pressing down on that seam and my foot being higher, I'm going to walk it over. And there we go. Now, I've gotten over the thickest part, so I'm going to reset my foot. I may have to reset it again, and that's okay. And here we go, turning it around so you all can see it. And using my spacing gauge, coming back in, I'm going to start up nice and slow. Now my foot is a little high, but you can see it didn't get fussy with me. I'm just going to go ahead and put it back down, which is kind of silly because I'm probably going to have to lift it back up when I get here. But if I do, that's okay. It doesn't take that long. It's not that big a deal, really. And let's go ahead and get the next one stitched. And I was right. Sometimes I wish I wasn't right. There we go. I just had to do 2 stitches. I'm going to switch my templates. There we go. Going to, all right, love it when it works out right like that. Take it nice and slow now because my foot is high. Whoops, that wasn't exactly nice and slow, was it? Now I can go ahead and lower it. I'm going to stitch across that 1/2 inch. Stop. Put this back in. This is the one where I drew all those circles, so I'm not really sure where I'm supposed to be. Ah, there it is. Ah, the tablet found it for me. Awesome. And now we're going to go. This looks so weird with the Sharpie on it. And that
to center. And you can see I've got a pretty big theme that we're going over right there too. So we'll just adjust the foot because we do have to come back on it. And one more stitch, I'll be in the center. There we go. Isn't this beautiful, guys? This really is not hard to do. Let's see who's come in, okay? Hi, Lorraine. Oh, Cyclone Alfred. Oh, you guys stay safe, please. I can't imagine. I always say my house looks like a cyclone hit it, but I've never really had been in a cyclone, so I can imagine it's horrible. Just be safe. That's the most important thing. Remember, possessions can be replaced, people cannot. So take good care of yourselves. And we'll say an extra prayer tonight for you guys. There we go. Probably shouldn't say that. Some people might be offended. If you're offended, I apologize. Okay, now we're going to go down back to the bottom. Take your time. It's not a race. It's a journey. And we want to enjoy the journey, right, Janice? She's heard me say that in class more than one time. Ah, we're going to stop at that dot. Oh, look at, I missed the dot. Oh, well. That's what I mean. It doesn't have to be exact. You miss a dot, you miss a dot. No big deal, right? Gonna come back in and we've got one more to do. Hopefully I've made this easy for you to duplicate this motif. This is our Spinifex 4 that is in our sampler set. And it's versatile. Let's turn that around. It's fun, it's functional, and it's just a pretty, pretty motif when we're done with it. And I love the fact that we can make this motif in any size we want because we now know the secret to how to measure out so that we get our design exactly right. And here we go. Look at that. Isn't that great? And we're only going to come to that line. We're going to stop on that line. And you can just count stitches. And once you get accustomed to how many stitches you need to do on each one, you don't have to mark those lines. I would mark this line only. Of course, my crosshair, but then I would only mark that line and you wouldn't have to mark all the dots because you know how many stitches you need to go. And it's going to be the same number all the time. Okay, and around. And you're going to stop there. I'm going to lower my foot now and take my 12-inch arc and come back to center. And then I'm going to go ahead and take this off, show it to you from the back side. I should have put a light color thread in the back side. There we go. Isn't that beautiful, guys? Well, hi, Julie. Good to see you. I would imagine you're coming home soon. Don't get here too quickly, though. We're having an ice storm tonight. Hi, Debbie. Lorraine. Okay, good, good. You're going to take care. Good. That's what I wanted to hear. Okay. So here it is from the back side. It looks pretty good. Looks kind of like a Spinifex number 4. So now you know how to do it in any size you wish. And now we're going to cover that in just a minute because I've got a couple more in some other sizes. But I just want to make sure that we have enough time to do the connection first. Now, what I would do if I was doing this, I would try to make sure that I was connecting things basically in the same kind of area. What I mean by that is I wouldn't connect this one down here on this block and this one up here on that block if I were the kind of person who wants everything the same. Fortunately, I am not. Okay. You can connect to any other motif anywhere it is over here and come into this one. And then if you want to, you can connect this one, connect this, and then go off into the next block. It's an all over design, so it can be all over. When it's stitched out as the embroidery, what you're going to see is it's very consistent. Okay. Everything, of course, is the same. It's just being repeated. And here are the connectors. So what's going to happen is the connector is going to come off of this flower. Nope, they'll come off of this one. And then it's going to go over. This is flipped. Okay, guys? This is a mirror image of this. So anyway, it would come off of this one and into this one each time. So if you want it to be very formal and very precise, then you're going to want to make sure that it comes in this, you have the same flowers in the same spots each time. If, however, it's an all over design you're making and it's not a very formal quilt, then what you'll want to do is join them together the way you think they look pretty. Because that's what we do. We take fabric, we cut it apart, we put it back together, and it looks pretty. So, this little guy, love this little guy. This is our edge to edge connector 2. And this one says stop, flip, and rotate. And that's exactly what we're going to do with it. And what I did was I drew it out. And so I could show you. What we're going to do is we're going to come up here. We're going to stop, take the template out, flip it over, and then rotate it. Let me show you how we're going to do that. Okay. So we're going to start here. And I'm connecting with another motif over here, we'll pretend, okay? And that is just that, it's pretending. Okay. I'll pull this up. And this. Take my first stitch in place. Oh my goodness, I need to raise my foot up. Being so close to the edge doesn't help either. So there we go. That's much better. Okay, this is where I stop. I'm going to take this out. I'm going to flip it and rotate it so that I come in to this motif right here. There we go. Now, what I'm doing is I'm going to go right over that petal and I'm going to come all the way across here. At least I think I'm going to. Yeah, I can. Here we go. I'm going to get a different one out. Where did my number one go? There it is. My number one has a really cool curve right here. And it's, or the number, yeah, the number one template, and it's letter C. That seems to be my favorite. No why, but it works for me every time. And there we go. Now I'm in the center of that flower. And what you're going to see is when I switched from this template over to this one, the line stayed very smooth. You really cannot tell that I switched over. So what we're going to do next is finish up this motif, and then we're going to go ahead and we're going to show you how we're going to connect those together, okay? And we'll get that out and show you from the back how nicely that works. Oh my goodness, I have to check my tension. Oh, sorry. I hate it when I hit the camera, guys. I really do. Okay, this is a smaller one now. And we're going to work it the exact same way. Here is, and this one I think I've got almost a half an inch. This comes up 3/8 of an inch, and it comes out, I think, a quarter of an inch. Yeah, a quarter of an inch. So you'll see that those sizes, they change as we do bigger and smaller, um, the bigger and smaller motifs. Let's see where we are. Okay, I said hi to Julie. When are you coming home, Julie? Just out of curiosity. Thank you, Linda, Suzanne, Susan. Susan's here from South Carolina. Welcome. Ellen is here from Delaware. So nice to have you here. And here we go. We're going to go ahead and get our two templates. Isn't this awesome? We can do this with two templates. We're going to come from the center, pull that bobbin thread up. And just what I figured, we're not going to get all three of these done tonight. But I really wanted to. Oh, you guys don't want to sleep, do you? Okay. Now I've got my little dot here. So I'm going to use my spacing gauge. There we go. And stitch down on the first edge of my 12-inch arc to the dot. All right. Count your stitches. Easy to count in your head. This is the time you don't want music on in your room. Okay. So I came down here just a little further than I should have. But that's okay. I'm just going to hold this guy up a little higher. Make sure that my 1/4 inch, this is the important part right here, that 1/4 inch from the from where you are to that straight part. That's the important section. And now we're going to go ahead and finish off that. And that was about a 1/2 inch. There we go. And we're going to come back up to the other one here. It's right there. I know it's kind of hard to see. And here we go. Oh, perfect. That doesn't happen often. And back up to the center again. And was anybody in here from Las Vegas? I don't remember if I saw anybody from Las Vegas. I figure if there is, my son's out there right now. Hire somebody to watch him. No, I'm just kidding. He'd be mortified if I said that. Okay, we're going to come down, stop at the dot. Make sure we've got our 1/4 inch here. Beautiful. I'm a little high on it. You won't notice it. Never guess what I did. I just dropped another ruler. Okay. Come back up to the dot. There we go. And back with our 12-inch arc. These are actually a lot of fun. Once you start making them, they really are a lot of fun. And if you want, you could go from side to side on them as well. I'm going to get those guys in the roller stand so I don't drop them again. Okay, there we go. And I'm looking for this guy. And you see, I just backed it up a little bit. You're still going to get enough of a curve here. It will be fine. I like to line this one of these straight lines with the line that I have drawn on my reference lines, because I do want that bottom to be, straight. I don't want it to be cattywampus. So I like to come in here and just line that up to make sure that I got a nice straight bottom. We want a flat bottom. And then we're going to use, okay. And back to the center. And looks like we've got 2 more. Let's go ahead and go for it. What do you say? All right. Oh, I lied. There's 3. I thought there was only two. Okay. Hopefully you all will be able to do this. I really think you will. It's not difficult. It takes time. It's not the fastest one ever, but it's fun. Needed to come up one more stitch. Okay. I'll finish this one and then we'll move on. And I want you to notice that over all of these themes, I really haven't had any trouble. The one seam that was a little more difficult had a lot of pieces coming together in it, as you can see right here. But otherwise, stitching with rulers on a quilt top that's been pieced really is not that much different than quilting with rulers on just a flat piece of fabric. Okay, got those. Also, Carla's here. Okay, Carla says, oh, hi, Ellen. Good evening. I did my first template today on a practice block. I did a 2-layer template. It came out great. Now on to doing the quilt block. Enjoying doing it. Carla, I'm really happy to hear you say that. Congratulations on your first template. They are fun and they are so pretty when they're done. There's so many things that we can do with the template. That's just awesome. Just awesome. Okay. Oh, hi, Susan. Suzanne, I didn't see you. Love this on your. Thank you. Okay, we're going to turn it over again. And you see, we don't have them all done. That's okay. This one, look at here what happened. I got that. Remember how I said to come down and get that straight across? I didn't on this one. And this is what happens when you don't. You kind of end up with a little peak in there instead of it being like this, nice and rounded and flat. All right, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to join these guys. On this one, we started on the block previous. We came around here and came into the center. Now, this one, my heart tells me, go the other direction. So we're going to come up and around here. Okay? Up and around. You know, we have a lot of other things in our box of tricks to make connectors, the 6-inch spiral, the 4-inch arc, and all of those. And they do a good job. Don't get me wrong, they do a great job. They're definitely adequate. But these guys, I just love the different shapes of them. And the shapes are etched right onto the template. Right here's one, right here is one, and right here is one. So you really have a very nice idea of how it's going to look. And if you look here, this is a deeper S curve right here. This kind of just gives you I don't know, I want to say it looks like a worm to me. I don't know. And then, of course, our stop, flip, and rotate. But it also gives you these edges to work with. We can work with edges. We know how to stitch on the outside of a template, right? So that's what I'm going to do with this guy. I'm going to stitch on the edges. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring him up here, and then I'm going to rotate this and bring him right in to this corner. Okay? So let's pull the thread up. We're going to start in the middle of this flower because that's where we ended. We want them all to be connected. There we go. So, which one did I say? This one, I think. Yeah, let's do that one. Take my one stitch in place so I don't end up with a choke picture. I'm going to stop there. Now I'm going to give my spacing gauge because I want it to come to 1/4 of an inch here. And what I want you to notice, here's where I join. Here's where I stop and move the template. You cannot tell. It's a very smooth um, transfer there. Now, on this one here, that's where I want to end up. But my foot is coming dangerously close to this edge of the template. And the last thing I want to happen right now is to have this foot fall off the template. So I'm going to just slide it over a bit, make sure I still have my 1/4 of an inch, which there it is. And we're going to go right into the center. And there we've got that nice curve, smooth, definitely looks great. I'm going to go ahead and trim these threads off, and then I'm going to show you what it looks like from the back. And there it is. Very nice, smooth transition from one to the other. Okay. We didn't get this one stitched up. I'm not going to worry about that, okay? Um, what I'm going to do is we're going to go ahead and start at this center. And this time we're going to end where one of the petals ends. We're not going to go from this center to this center. We're going to go from this center to one of the outside petals. The question is which one and how do we want to get there? Well, you know what? If we look at this one, I did not plan this either. Okay, this is just happening. We could go in that direction or we could go in this direction. Here we've got a little more room to play. Here we've got, we could come, oops, like this, and then come over like this. But it's kind of long, and this one's a kind of a short span. So let's go ahead with one of these guys, okay? I'm going to use B. I don't normally use B. I don't want him to feel bad that he doesn't get picked. Okay, here we go. All right. So what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to go ahead and move this template when we get down towards the bottom. And let me show you what I mean by that. Take one stitch in place. We're going to come out. We're going to come down this beautiful soft ester. And I'm going to stop here. Right here is where I want to be. So what I can do is I can come back in. I'm going to go ahead and use my spacing gauge. I just slid it down a little bit and come back out. And that is where the edge of my flower is. And there we go. Nice little run down. Okay. Just comes down and around very nicely. We'll go ahead and get that off. Um, don't be afraid of this. Don't be afraid to make it your own. Definitely make it your own. Okay. Hi, Anne from the great state of Texas. How are you? I'm very happy you're here. So this is kind of what we've had for tonight. I want to let you know this is the last one that we are doing with the spin effects for motif. Next time we're going to do the circles long quilts number 36. Um, haven't figured out quite how to size it down these small yet. So we're going to do this one with the template, and then I'm hoping I'm going to have it figured out. If not, we'll go to plan B. And that is going to be the end of our starter set. Then we start with the feathers. We have really covered a lot in these first 9 weeks. And I think that we've come a long way from the first day we started. And I hope that this is just a beginning. I really do. I'm thinking that we not only can do the edge to edge designs, but maybe and hopefully we can start doing some of the other embroideries that we have. But tonight, I have a little surprise for you. Okay. I know many of you have been watching Facebook, Westerly by me specifically, and you have been seeing the project that I'm working on. This project will be a class. Oh, yeah. Debbie says, can't wait from feathers. Um, I'm excited about them too. Anyway, this project that I'm working on will be a class. It will be the dates for the class will be announced by the end of the week, I'm thinking. I still have a couple little things to do on it, but I'm going to show it to you guys tonight if you want to see it, because I do have the whole design finished. So it's been so much fun to work on too. It's something totally different for me. So I really like it. Hang on 1 minute here. We're gonna go ahead and make a couple little changes here. All right. I have to take the headset off. And here it is. Debbie, yes, it is a Zoom class. It will be a Zoom class. And I want you guys to know, I mean, I had so much fun doing this. Isn't that fun? I just had a ball with this one. It was really just kind of I was bored this weekend. So this is what I did. Okay, so the cool thing about this, it's made with two circles on quilts and the new template that just came out. So you only need a couple of you only need a couple of templates. Donna, is this a quilt as you go? It's a very small quilt, so it's all one piece. This is 28 inches by, I forgot, but like 20, it's small. Yes, Lee, I did it over the weekend. I was bored. Um, as I was working on it, I kept saying, "Oh, this is my favorite part. This is my favorite part." And the other thing that I did on this, I just kept throwing thread on. I just kept throwing thread at it. These little guys here, that looks really intimidating. These are half-inch and quarter-inch circles, but they go together easy. They go in so cool. Ken looked at this and he said, "Well, if you made those circles a little differently there, they'd be ice cream cones." I said, "Yeah, they certainly would be ice cream cones." And I found out that we can do some designs. Here they are with those half-inch circles. And look at how cool this looks. It almost looks like Victorian lace in here. So yeah, this is I still have to put my border on it. The border is going to be very simple, but we're going to get that on. And let me see. I have a feeling my headset's going to go south. Okay, there we go. This is the new template. And this is the one this is the one that I used to make it. And we will use this and a couple circles on quilts. So there it is. The template is available now for purchase. So, yeah. What will the class be called? Debbie, I'm not really sure. What do you think it should be called? You tell me what I should call the class because I don't know for sure. Um, it's all about circles. It really is. It's all about circles. So that's probably what I'll name the class. It's all about circles. And there's a few hearts in here too. So, and we're going to make feathers with the hearts. Hearts and circles. Yep. So I hope you guys like it. Lee, this is an interesting template. When I first saw this template, I wondered to myself how we could really effectively use it. But I think that a lot when we get new templates. After I started using it on, well, I've used it before on other things, but never designed with it. And after I started designing with it this weekend, I kept seeing new possibilities coming to light. And so I just kept going. I really enjoyed it. You will not need to do free motion quilting like I've done here. However, you're more than welcome to do it if you wish. And this came kind of as a drunkard's path is what inspired it. I love the drunkard's path pattern and quilt. And I'm thinking to myself, how can I make a drunkard's path without piecing it? So this is kind of where this whole idea came from for me. No, Linda, you don't have to stipple unless you want to, okay? Oh, thank goodness. She says, the name is the Artisan Curves Multi Circles template, and it is available. It's quite inexpensive, I thought. So, Linda, good. Awesome. I'm glad you like it. So it will be a Zoom class because that's what I like doing. I really, really enjoy doing the Zoom classes with the interaction and the friends that I've made doing this is just it's lovely. It really is. And even to the point that I worry about them when they're not around, right, Tim? So anyway, you guys are the first to see it. I probably won't show the whole thing on the Facebook page quite yet. I'm going to wait until I get the borders on before I do. I want to thank you so much for being here tonight. Okay, Deb, thanks. I appreciate you. I want you to know that. And if you haven't, please like, subscribe, share. That always means a lot to us. I started looking at YouTube and what you have to do to, start making money off of it, and it's not going to work for me. So I'm okay with that. The new template is Artisan Curve Multi Circles. And yeah, it is available. And I think it's like less than $30. It's got so much on here. It really does. We use a straight ruler for here, all of these tack holes here, and then up here we use this for making the larger circles. But we do need the bigger set of circles as well for these outside edges of the drunkard's path. And then it's got a heart here. And I was told that it's there because they wanted to make sure that they used everything they could on it. Carla said it's $28. So that's not a bad price for everything this template does. It's a great value, I think. When you can do all this basically with one template, that tells me that that's a really good template to have. Definitely is. Artisan curves, mini multi-circles, yes. So anyway, I appreciate you being here. I really do. Tomorrow evening, we are going to do Artisan Curves Teardrop. Okay, we have, I think, only one more week of Artisan Curve templates. And then on Wednesday at 8 a.m., we're going to do Starry Night, and we are going to do stars and star tails. We're going to do half the stars and the star tail one. Hi, Patsy. Nice to see you. So, we got a lot planned for you for this week, and I hope you're going to be able to join us. Oh, Thursday also, 3 o'clock, I think it is. I will be doing one of the log cabin blocks, 4D. So if you are available, go ahead and tune in. That is recorded. I will be in the audience. I'll be stalking you guys. So I hope we see you tomorrow night. You guys all have a great day. Thank you for being here. And until we meet again, let's quilt.